It is my pleasure. We should bring in Representative Heather Scott here from District 2. Heather, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, Matt.
Very good. You've been very active this early part of the for the session. We've been following your insect and lab meat bill. We've been following this resolution or memorial about overturning Obergefell, and then of course this morning you were there with the flag bill. So we want to kind of touch on all of that, but I want to start. I want to start with what I think is such a great bill. The food labeling bill with the insects and the lab meat. So, and we've got some interesting B-roll to share with people as we talk about this to give people some highlights. But you during your presentation on this bill, you had noted that other states have outright banned lab meat and things like that. And you're not necessarily looking for a ban. You're more looking just for labeling and informing people, right?
Wow, what a graphic there. That's interesting. So I wouldn't mind banning it, but then I knew the pushback would be, why are you telling businesses what they can or cannot do? And that is a good point. We don't want to control technology. We want people to be able to do what they want. But my goal is that people know what they're eating. And I don't want this stuff snuck in to our food source. Now, I did look into the states that have banned it, and they're in lawsuits. So they're going to be tied up in the courts forever.
Right.
And that's not really fair to do to our AG. We're a small state, so it's hard to pay for big lawsuits. And so while it may be nice to be on the news for Idaho to be standing against this, I think labeling is a fair start, right? If they're going to put it in our state, we want to know what's in it. So
yeah.
That was the first step.
And then when it comes to the insect part, I feel like some of that stuff is already being used because, like you said, there's cricket flour, but maybe it's called something else. So it might be in things that we're already consuming and we don't know, right?
Yes, and unfortunately, the deeper I dig, the more I find out it might be somewhere I don't want to know where it is. I really believe we need labeling, and I will share an update on the bill. The Idaho cattlemen, they came in, they said, we like this. We just want to help make sure things are correctly, they wanted to add a little bit, which I had no problem with. And so did the Idaho Farm Bureau. They're very firm on wanting good labeling. But I did just get some pushback from the Idaho food producers. They don't like the bill at all. They don't want to have the state be in control of labeling. And so this will be a roadblock. I have to figure out, how do I get around this?
Do they want anyone in? Do they want anyone in charge of labeling? Do they just want to do it themselves?
They want the feds in charge. So this will be the point that you're going to see the pushback, because I didn't see it too much on the cattlemen or the Farm Bureau, but the food producers, they're saying we want the feds to do it. I don't want the feds to do it. After COVID and all that, maybe we'll have 4 good years, but who knows what we're going to come up with coming up. And I don't want to trust the feds. I want to make sure the state. So we'll have to see how if we can tweak the bill in any way to get their support. But I don't know that we'll have the support of Idaho Food. I just got their paper today. It's Food Producers of Idaho. They're the ones that are probably going to not be in favor of this bill. And so hopefully I can still, we'll see what happens. So that's what to watch for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel like it's going to be, I feel like you won't have any legal challenges here, because if California can force everybody to put their this thing contains cancer on every single item that's on the shelf, then I think we can let people know that there's insects in their food.